Hey, good morning, Neverland. Guess where I am today? I'm gonna flip it around here. Graveyard. Decided this would be a good kind of walk around, so I'm gonna kind of just talk and kind of look at stuff. Um, yeah, there's just, especially today, I've been getting the theme of death, and so I thought, why not a cemetery? So much just seems to be ending, and it's something that I've always kind of been in deep touch with it, even since I was little. I know everyone's a little different, maybe my thing. Uh, Total side note, maybe it's related, maybe not. If you're into it's kind of like zodiac signs in a certain way, but star seeds, allegedly souls, coming from different points of origin in the universe, galaxies, and something that I recently heard was something called Mintakans from Mintaka. I'd never heard of it before, and it was funny because if you're in those kind of spheres too, I've heard about the Pleiadians, and the Orions, and it goes on and on. There's Andromedans. There's a lot of different ones. But for the Mintakans, something that kind of resonated with me is that their homeworld was destroyed. So for this particular story, it kind of resonates with me, where even being like a young child, I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I had lost my home and that I was like desiring home so much, but I just innately kind of knew it's gone. My home doesn't exist anymore. Um, and this has been something that I've kind of carried with me my whole life. Uh, I ended up being around more like real physical human death than I thought I was going to be, for sure. Um, I won't get into everything, but I was there for the passing of my grandparents, both of them, my grandmother and my grandfather. And it's amazing because their passings were very different, very, very different. And I don't know if I'll have time to go into that today, but yeah, the experience was it was wonderful for me though, in so much as I really got to experience that we go on after we die, and that this is just, a vessel for us, for our consciousness. Um, it's hard it's hard to put into words, but it's just like if you're there during the experience of death, I can't. It is a very sacred experience, and I'm extremely honored that I got to be a part of it with my grandparents. I probably won't be able to be a part of it with my own parents, but it is what it is, you guys. Every life is different. Everything is different. Some of the circles I ran in, for people helping transition into the next life, I've heard it being called a death doula, and in certain ways, I've only I seem to end up being around people who are getting ready to pass, and then I just I'm kind of that kind of a soul, I guess. I don't know what to say. Um, Makes me a little worried sometimes. I don't think I'm a reaper, shit. But I seem to have a lot of peace with death. If anything, my situation, and I felt like it's almost been an opposite kind of a thing for me, where, and that's what I wanted to talk about really today. Even though this is all about death, and this particular, I guess, day walking episode is about death, it's also about life. They are inseparable. They are inseparable. Death is just changes, guys. That's all that it really is. And it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. There is something that I want to pose to you guys, and I don't know if you'll, take what you want, leave the rest behind. Um, But as eternal beings, I think this is part of the reason why we're here on Earth, is to heal a particular trauma, a very particular trauma. And I think it manifests in many different ways, but the biggest one is it's the desire to die. It's the desire to no longer, exist. And which might seem ironic or counterintuitive, especially from a human perspective, because there's so much fear about death. Oh, the death. I don't want to die. It's the unknown. But I think most people, people don't want to kill themselves for the most part. And even if they say that they do, they don't. And it's because I think there's some kind of subconscious awareness that we go on. We don't die, man. And that is why it's so important to be here fully present and to heal what we can, to be conscious, because what we're doing is I don't want to say revolutionary, you guys. It's something so much more than that. It's like pathfinding. It's like scouting. It's like ice breaking. We're moving into territory which has never been before. And a large part of it, from what I see, is that there's been this trauma, this break in, I would say, universal consciousness. And what's going on here is that we are healing this break, that we are moving beyond the limitations that we essentially believed that we had. And so in a very real way, what is this, guys? It's death. It's death of what we believed ourselves to be, what we thought our limitations were. And just seeing all this here too, I'm kind of jumping around, sticking on the subject though still. Maybe as an individual human, I don't know what to say other than it's like I feel the spirit of the ancestors, where they are there and present with us when we open ourselves up to it. And the biggest thing that I would say that I would say from the spirit world is, I wouldn't say regret, but it's very similar to that, where it's like when we become open to it, we can see that there is, at least from what I feel, maybe it's my lineage, maybe it's more than that, because I'm kind of open for myself. The way that I see it, any spirit that wants to interact with me, I'm okay. I'm open to it. The way that I see it, it's just like I set my intentions very clearly, though. It's just like, we're about healing. We're about getting back to the source, and honoring the one absolute, essentially what it is. I say that in many different ways, but that's really what it is. It's the separation or the delusion, man. The separation from love, the separation from truth, so that we experience a truth that is devoid of love, which is not truth, or a love which is devoid. Wait, let me say that again. A love which is devoid of truth, which is not love. And then a truth which is devoid of love, which is not truth. And it's and I'll try to say that in many different ways, but that is. So here we go, walked around the whole thing, huh? That was very nice, you guys. I'm gonna keep talking though. We'll go this way now. I just I see so much, you guys, and I want to relate it as much as I possibly can. I'm going through a lot. We all are, guys. It's just like I can't even begin to just because no one's really talking about it. We're going through a collapse, you guys. This is the end. Like, this is look at these tombstones. All right, I'm standing in the graveyard and everything, but this is very poignant for our particular time period. Economics, business, politics, everything just seems to be collapsing in on itself. And I think it's divine timing, you guys. Death is not a bad thing. Sometimes things need to change. And so all of this is a good thing. And this is why I want to make these videos and talk about this, is that I feel like there's two particular sides to this, and maybe there's more, right? But if this change is inevitable, there's people who are going to be blindsided by it, and then there's people who see it coming. And the people who see it coming, they are essentially the ones who are conscious. They can navigate this new reality. And there will be so much freedom and so much liberty, like a new economy. There's so much consciousness for the people who see what's going on. And for the people who do not see what's going on, the people who are living more unconsciously, there's nothing that we can really do. As conscious people, all we can do is really live for our own selves with other conscious people. And as the universe gives us opportunity to plant seeds, we do that. But I really see, as time goes on, that there's a real potential for more of a divide. And this division is going to be from, like it's an old system that's trying to stay alive, is the best way for me to say it. I think to some degree, it will get some people, I'll talk more about particulars later, because it could just be my own perspective, but it has to do with addiction. It has to do with escapism and avoiding the pain, essentially. Avoiding the pain of existence, avoiding the pain of being in eternal consciousness. And I know it's kind of going off the deep end here, but right, seeing the crosses and everything. I don't know if you can see this right here, but Christianity, man, there's a lot about it. I'll talk about other religions too, but Christianity, there's a good portion that I just love. I absolutely love the Christhood. This is the salvation of the eternal consciousness, is what it is, guys. It is the returning from that place of death. Because eternal consciousness, it doesn't really experience death. What it ends up experiencing is a cycle of great trauma and pain, which is then rehashed over and over and over again until the lesson is learned, until, what is being processed correctly. And I'll try to put my spin on things to try to make it more palpable, and I'll come at it from several different angles. The emotional gravity of it is way too serious to be able to communicate into words. Thank God, man. Thank God. Like, the gravity of something like that needs, like, I would say, a very wholesome environment with very loving individuals, if you can handle it. If you don't have a community, or there's no community available, I just say getting in nature, and then just making sure that you're connected. That you're connected to the love and the truth, guys. Going on the Christianity cycle, yeah, make sure you're connected to Christ, all right? And you'll hear me say stuff like that. I usually won't say Jesus. Jesus is a name that was created by the Roman Catholic Church to heal Zeus, There can be more research about it. I don't necessarily identify with the name, but the story and the spirit, I absolutely resonate with. So that's just where I'm coming from for that particular thing. If I was to say, if someone says, I come in the name of Jesus, okay, that's a name, Names are almost, irrelevant at this point. And I know people would challenge me particularly on this point, but I would prove to them, I can come in the name of fucking anything, you guys. I can come in the name of anything. And if you believe me, I don't have to necessarily stand with the spirit of the name that I draw. And so be very, very cognizant of that. It would be my warning and my urging. Just because people say they come in the name of something doesn't mean anything, all right? And I would go so far as to say, even if someone says that they come in the spirit of something, do they? Do they really come in the spirit of it? Because their example, how they're living, and their actions and their behavior will show that they come, that they live in that spirit, that they walk with that spirit. And this is terminology and stuff that's been talked about, at least in the Christian circles, for a long time, you guys. I want to bridge the gap, because I would say I'm more of a Gnostic Christian in that kind of a interpretation, but I wouldn't even call myself a Christian per se, even though I deeply resonate and value Christianity itself, the story of Christianity. And it's mostly because my relationship with the divine, with the one absolute, is very personal. I can definitely share and resonate my connection with other people, but it's a very unique experience, you guys. I think it is for everybody. And ultimately, I think that's the way it is, even within religions. When I have attended churches before, there were always certain people that I felt like had a perspective, or relationship with the divine that was more, like from my biased perspective, that was more authentic. They were being really real with themselves, and they were genuinely connecting to the divine. And there were other individuals that were more for the social aspect. To them it was more of a surface thing. And I think that just is a lot about soul development. There's nothing that can really be, said one way or another, I think, about those things. Because there's no judgment, you guys. Like, seriously. I just come from a very unique perspective, right? Going back to the original thing. If I'm a Mintakan soul, I mean, geez, guys. I'm going to have a very unique perspective, and it's not going to be shared by everybody. But, that's what's wonderful, too. It doesn't need to be. And that's where I'm kind of coming from at this point, is that I'm looking for a place to fit in, all right? Guess what I don't have, right? If I'm a Mintakan soul, what don't I have anymore? A home, guys. I don't have anywhere to go. My home is destroyed. I don't have anywhere to go. And so I'm making Earth my home. And there's a lot of freaking issues with it, don't get me wrong. But it's a beautiful, beautiful area. And my stance on everything is that we have a real benefit. We have a real opportunity to love this world, you guys. It's a beautiful world. It's so diverse. It's so amazing. And where I'm coming from is that technology isn't the final frontier. In this way, what I feel like humanity needs more than anything else at this point is emotional intelligence, is emotional capability. And that's something which doesn't necessarily need a high degree of technology. It can. We can have it, but I think it can also distract from it as well. That's why I think it's super important to create community, you guys. Like in tying everything back to the original premise here, death. I really feel like the technological world, the world of isolation, is dying. We can't keep this antisocial, this parasitic relationship with each other and within ourselves. It's ending. It's dying. And I think it's good to get ahead of it. It's good to acknowledge it. And it's good to move on. It's painful, guys. It's painful. I'm not going to show my face right now, but it's painful, you guys. Like, because what it is, it's quitting the addiction, it's quitting the escapism and seeing what it is. And it's a process, you guys. Like, be easy on yourselves is the best thing that I can say. This has been a long time coming for me. As far as old habits and stuff, I've quit several times, gone back to it. People who have run in those circles, they know. It's a process, you guys. And just where I'm at in my life, it's time. It's just time. I see the dying. I see the death. And I see the potential for the life emerging from this death. And so I am going to grieve, guys. I've been grieving for a long time. I've been grieving for a long fucking time, guys. The loss of my homeworld, the loss of the innocence of humanity. You know, there's just been so much, guys. And now we get the opportunity to do it differently. Like, I'm gonna make a stand is the best way to say it. And these videos, all of this, these videos that I'm making is my stand. Like, and this is why I say speak the truth. Come from love. All right? It's okay. Be transparent. And I think the most important thing that we can do right now is to be authentic, to be genuine. Let the chips fall where they may. Because this is it, you guys. And my particular stance is community. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a romantic partner and everything, but me and my romantic partner, if I'm gonna have a family, I need a society to live in. I need a community to rely upon, to belong to. You know? If I'm on an island, I need an island of people. This is the best way to say it. And I think that's true for all of us. Like, and this is why I come back to this. You know, I'm going to say this several times. I'll keep going. All my videos might tie together to this. But it's about that emotional intelligence. And it's about living in a community which honors that truth and that love. Sees them as two sides of the same coin. And has respect for each other, all of its members. I mean, it sounds very idyllic nowadays. Like, that's the issue, is that this used to be more of a standard. It used to be a standard, you guys. And we've been lied to. We've been lied to so hardcore. A lot of the tribal people had it figured out. And we have fallen so far from grace. And I think this is the time for us to begin taking tribal traditions back into the fold. Absolutely. Absolutely. What I see happening is, it is the death of society. It is the death of the old. Like, and I mean of this weird Frankenstein. Because the true ancient things which have been around since the beginning of time, that's what we're returning to. But at the same breath, in the same time, we're moving into these ancient practices with awareness, with consciousness. We're not just doing the ancient practices because that's all that we've known. We're doing it out of consciousness. We're choosing it. And that is the power. That is what I see happening with the earth. And that is what I see us moving into. So I'll swip it back here. Yeah, God bless you guys, man. I love you. I love you. I know there's lots going on. I'm going to keep making videos, keep putting stuff out there. Yeah. You know, death is a big deal, guys. And it's okay. Life goes on. Peace out. Love within. Catch you guys on the flip side.